Hmm. Or live. Oh my gosh, we're flying by the seat of our pants tonight.
It's
like
a new day. We the timing wasn't right.
We haven't been here in a while.
All right, let me see. Let's make sure we got all the checks. Check, check, check. You hear us?
Hope so. Hope you hear us.
There we go.
There we go. You know what? I mean, we went to space.
I think that's the thing.
I'm still like, I can barely like walk right.
Well, before.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
How is everybody doing? Are you guys people that were there with us? Are you recovering? Are you like slowly processing?
Have you gotten through all of the tissues that Lady Carrie passed out at the end of the voyage? Because that was genius.
So first and foremost, right, the big, glaring is we're on Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's not Wednesday, my dudes.
No. To thank the Maker guys, they decided to do a little YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, so they officially... I'm not exactly sure how they're doing things, but what they're going to be doing is live streaming on their YouTube channel. And because they cover the big Star Cruiser or Star Wars, Star Cruiser on the mind, the Star Wars shows that come out each week, they're like instantly covering them.
Yeah.
So what I believe they're planning on doing is recording live on YouTube on Wednesdays. And so we didn't want to conflict with that. And we also want to like watch them and hang out with them. So we were like, you know what? Let's move it to Tuesdays. And it was a game time decision today.
Well, because we were trying to figure out like, should we go earlier or later? But our normal episodes come out on Tuesdays. So we're like, well, why don't we just like, we just randomly picked Wednesday. It's just like the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So there was nothing like oh, this is our day. This is the day to do it.
Yeah.
And then again, we were just so excited still. So we were like, screw it. Let's go earlier than later.
Right. So now it's going to be something from Princess and Scoundrel, at least on YouTube, every Tuesday. So the podcast will still come out every other week, and you can listen to that in a podcast format if you want to. But on YouTube, there will be some kind of new content from us, whether it's a live stream or an episode, every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. I'm going to say it one more time. Tuesday. But yeah, so it just so happened that today happened to be Tuesday, and we decided,
let's do it.
Well, let's just move it today. Let's do it. And was I planning on washing my hair tonight in anticipation of tomorrow's live stream so I could have fresh hair?
Yes.
I love day one hair when we record. And did we decide to just go ahead and do it today anyway? Yes. Therefore, the space buns have come out. I'm going to let you in on 2 secrets because I know you guys have already been flagging my space buns in the comments. So yes, these are, if you haven't seen the reel or the party trick, they just pop right off. But the second party trick is I do my hair like this when it's dirty. Because I can like put this back and you can't, here, we'll do one at a time. You can't really tell.
Looks like you did it up.
It looks like I put a lot of effort into it. And
the secret is out.
There you go. Secret's out. So. Well, the funny thing is we've talked about this before. I feel like one of them's further, whatever. We talked about this before on a live stream. I think somebody was like,
they was just like glazed over.
Well, they were like, how do you do your hair? And I was like this, boop. And I like popped it off. And I think we linked to it. And so there were a few people that were like, wait, your buns aren't real. And so we had some friends on Star Cruiser that had bought the buns. And I was like, oh, let me fix you up a little bit. And like our friend Claire, she had them and she's got blonde hair. She just looks like a little bear. So I just kept calling her my baby bear. But yeah, so we had some fake space buns in space. But nice. I figured timeliness and because my hair is dirtier than I usually like, space buns.
But I want to welcome everybody because, everybody came in.
There's so many people here. This
Anonymous,
is incredible.
Nate, Acoustic, Natalie, Mark, Ash, Nate. Well, Nate again. Drew, Navi.
Who else? We got Mark, Natalie, Ash.
Lady, Aloha, Cosmo Kitty.
Hannah. Ooh, a first Voyager on the 29th of this month. We got Brent. Oh my gosh, there's so much.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep up with all this.
We went straight into it, but there was everybody.
Let's go back up to the top.
Okay,
let's catch up a little bit. We'll skim a little bit. We got some rising moons. Oh, Navi's mom says hello. She cruised with us.
Ash, hello.
Fake buns. I will happily be called fake buns.
That's exactly how we feel. It's just like, it doesn't feel back to normal yet.
Yeah. Well, doing laundry
felt going the 29th.
Real normal. Favorite
Lady,
moment.
I don't know if we're going to talk about that yet. Maybe we'll kind of like hint at it because we definitely want to figure out like what our next couple episodes are going to be because we did a lot. We did like a full Star Wars weekend. Like we celebrated the holiday right.
We barely missed a minute.
It was Hunter, he kind of made the connection of saying like this Star Wars weekend was like a celebration of sorts, where it was just like nonstop hanging out with people, Star Wars, having a great time.
It was great. We hardly slept though. I think the night one I went to bed, I think I got 3 hours of sleep. But I will share though, if you're looking at the, if you follow us on Instagram, I think I posted it from both of our accounts, was one of the best moments of the voyage for me, which was just people were hyped for this voyage. And so during like the muster, and it's not a spoiler or anything, where it was just like, welcome to the Starcruiser Halcyon. Yeah, people just like lost it. Most of it was me.
That's literally the start of the voyage. And it was
tears for me.
It was like a very, like, this is going to be a great weekend for both us and the crew.
Yeah, because if you look at the crew, they were like kind of taken back too. They were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was so good. Sarah gets all the nicknames. Mom Mashma, Betty Bantha, Curly Spice Girl, Fake Buns. Gaylin's in here. You want to see the space buns on Steven? Buns of steel. I mean, kind of, right? They're buns of Beskar.
Yeah.
Put them that way.
Board Game Cantina.
Oh, great. They're here. They just launched their YouTube channel officially. And I've been working with them on, I don't know if they want to talk about it, but I've been working with them on some stuff lately too.
Ash, you chose that life.
Yeah, Ash, you had your moment. You let it go. When did we get home? Super late.
Sunday
night. Like super
Bespin, hello.
Nate, thank you. Please hit the like button if you're here.
And their crew were the ones that the Narkina that broke out onto Batu.
Yeah, the Bespin Bespoke's whole crew showed up in homemade Narkina 5 jumpsuits on Batu, and they had like these great sandals that were flesh colored but looked really comfortable. So they were just like walking around Batu on May the 4th. Yes. We got some 2024 people already signed up. Oh man, Drew went home for the weekend and then got back on a plane Monday morning to head to Chicago.
Ooh, busy. No sleep for the wicked, Drew. D showing off. So I think that's what we may do today is like we have like our just
you can't
all
see
this
it.
stuff, yeah.
This blob right here. There we go. We've got so much stuff from this voyage, that was specific to this voyage. So I think
little trading going on.
A little show and tell. Reza's here. That nerd. Reza was in our room. We're not just like dogging on Reza for no reason. But yeah, just to kind of set the scene a little bit. I think most of you here have been following along. We recognize most of you. If you are new here, welcome to Princess and Scoundrel. Smash that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
But we went on the Galactic Starcruiser on May 3rd, which meant we were on Batu on May 4th. We invited as many people as wanted to come with us, and it was a massive voyage. It was an electric voyage. It was absolutely incredible. So many people on this voyage brought so much extra of themselves to make it a wonderful voyage. And so that's what we want to show off is some of those extra things that people physically brought. We'll probably talk about some of the extra like activities and things like that in a future episode or maybe a future live stream. But for today, I think we're going to talk about these things because they're...
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like
there's just so much.
We haven't had time, again, we haven't had time to like really process it. Like it's still like, we came home, hugged on the kids, gave them kisses, and then it was to work. It was like straight to work.
Yeah.
And so
like
we're
literally.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, let's download, I don't think we've fully unpacked. That's how like we haven't fully processed yet.
Don't think. Like, our living room is destroyed right now.
So it's like we're slowly just like, okay, what do we, we need to figure out new times, and what are we going to talk about, and what do we want to talk about today, and so that's it was a good trip. It came back, and it was like there's like this new life in the whole thing.
Pete saying, hope they do a 3 to 5 voyage every year. So here's the thing. So next year, May the 4th falls on a Saturday. And if they keep up with what they're doing, it could be another May 3rd through 5th voyage. And we would spend the 4th on Batu, which would be great.
Now, the one thing that it would have been cool is to spend the evening on Batu on May 4th.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky thing. Is like,
especially with those 3 suns, I'd rather have the 3 moons. How does the experience hold up over repeat visits? How does it stack up to other trips? It's so hard.
So I think that is going to be more on that full in-depth conversation, because I think that's the thing that, that going several times, and how, like, can it be consistent? Right.
And we'll have to dive into it, because there's still, like, I'm still trying to figure out how does it stack up, but at the same time, you can't compare it, because there were so many people here that we didn't have on our previous voyages.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest difference.
And we didn't have our kids with us.
Yeah.
So there was a completely different, like,
for
our
us,
focuses were different. So it was a lot.
There goes Tap.
It was so good, though. Oh, hey, Justin. So, Justin, have you slept, first of all? Because Justin filmed. I didn't realize you filmed so much on this voyage. It was a lot.
It's just like a beautiful, like, chronicling of the voyage.
It's almost like when you watch a really good, like, wedding video.
Yeah.
That's what it was like, but for the whole voyage. It was for a full 45 hours.
Yeah.
And that he covered everything.
From, like, start to finish.
Up till 2:30 last night. I believe it, because it was a 20-minute video of, I don't even think there was really any talking. I think it was just
the music and stuff.
Just music over different clips. I'm dancing almost the entire video.
That's all Sarah did.
I ride left slid all around the Halcyon, sometimes with a drink in hand. But yeah, it was fantastic. I miss you too. It was great. But yeah, it was, what a voyage, what a week.
Yeah.
There was so much, like, stress and everything. Oh, Naomi's here too. Going into it, that I think more than anything now, like, just kind of, before I've even really, like, sat with my thoughts, I'm just kind of like, I can breathe now. I feel like maybe I haven't breathed in, like, weeks leading up to this, like, making sure costumes are ready and that everything was ready and that everybody had a good time. And now that it's over, I'm not even, like, I haven't really cried yet. I cried when we watched Happily Ever After, and we were, like, anticipating getting a really good cry out then. And I cried.
I don't feel like I got it, like, fully out. Like, I didn't get that, like, that just...
No, you definitely didn't.
That whole thing out. So,
well, we were talking about something else today, and we were both kind of getting, like, sad about it, and we're like, yeah, we need a good cry.
Well, so we did.
Well,
okay.
No spoilers. Let's not. I don't want to get into any kind of spoiler territory with it. The other thing is my voice. If you can hear it, I would love to do a snapshot of what my voice sounds like in the beginning, because I already hear it, like, going. And then an hour from now, when we're, like, wrapping up, because I've got 2 things of tea with me. It's just, whew. I think I screamed for, like, 5 days straight. Just out of excitement. But yeah, initial come down thoughts, because if we don't talk about it now, our thoughts are going to be different. I'm just relieved. I'm just so happy. My heart is so full from how good everything was this week. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you you hope for it to be a successful event. Not really with like an expectation like, oh, it's going to be this. We're going to have it, you know, do this, but just more like we want a good time.
Yeah.
And just from like the first, you know, going the muster meetup.
Yeah, the Heroes of the Halcyon muster meetup.
It was just like from there, I was like, oh man, this is going to be just from that event, like seeing people and, you know, putting faces to names. You start getting excited. Then going into Starcruiser and hanging out with, you know, everybody there.
Yeah. Which it was genius that they had name tags at the Heroes of the Halcyon muster meetup. Because it was like, oh, that's it. Because I don't know if it was a prompt to do it, but people would put like their first name and then they would put their Instagram handle or like who they go by online.
That was genius.
Anonymous person had a list going. He needed a couple of name tags to fit everybody on there, but that was really helpful because it's just like I've seen these names. Like so many people on here are my clients, and so I see their names, but I don't know what they look like.
Yeah. And well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's like a small little.
It's a teeny tiny little
icon.
picture, but some people don't put pictures up, or like they're not on here, and they introduce themselves. I'm like, oh, I know exactly who you are. I'm so excited to see you. Like, it thrills me to meet clients or like see pictures of them because I'm like, oh, look at you. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, it was super helpful. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was perfect.
I think the biggest shock to me was that as a guest and the guests in general, like we were happy, right? We were excited for what was going on, but not to realize that the cast and crew were just as excited for this. That was like the biggest, like, oh my gosh, like this is where it's like the next level. Is like they were excited that we were there.
Everybody was excited.
So
I befriended, I think, almost every single crew member on that ship.
You like just pop up. So tell me your whole story. Tell me your life.
Basically, we were talking to Dano after the fact, and he was like, well, Sarah, you knew everybody on the ship. And I was like, I didn't. I only went in knowing like the cast and like maybe a few of the crew members. And then like my good friend that's a PhotoPass photographer was on. Like, I didn't know he was going to be there. And we saw each other from across the atrium. We were like, what are you doing here? It was great. But I did not know so many of those people. And I fell in love with all of them. They were amazing. But yeah, Dana was like, what do you mean? Because he was like, well, you knew everybody there. I was like, I didn't. He's like, yes, you did. I was like, I like talking to people. Yeah, Justin, you crushed that video. It was so good. Yeah, Steven hugged Galen 2 times. It was wonderful. I know, like with our first voyage, the letdown was just like, we're not in space we can't live in space anymore. Not knowing when we would go back.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like not knowing if and when. And the fact that the next time, okay, we went more of like spur of the moment. So we're like, oh my gosh, like we were able to go. But then there was just kind of that like, oh, man, it's so fun.
Yeah.
And I think this one is like, because we have this idea that we're going to keep doing this, there's that light at the end of the tunnel. We're like, okay, hey, we just got to make it another 365 and we'll be right back.
And we'll be right back with probably most of the same Petra. Petra. I saw Petra's name.
With the same Petra.
The same Petra. I saw Petra's name through me. Well, we'll maybe have Petra there again. I just gave you a couple's name without knowing it. But we'll have so many of the same people there, and we'll have more people there. And I think that's knowing that as fun as this one was, that the next year could be even bigger and somehow better. What is there to be sad about?
I think the other part of it is like there was even people that had no idea. They were just going for May 4th. They were going just to hang out, you know.
But we included them too.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is like there was people that just went.
Yeah.
And they didn't know like the whole, you know, everybody was going, but they joined in on the fun. You know, I think that was the coolest part. It was like, we're not excluding anyone. Everybody's invited. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, drinks all the way around.
And it was wonderful. Yeah. There's a lot of comments on here that the crew and guest services were saying like, this was the best voyage ever. And we got that from a lot of people, not just the passengers, the crew, the cast.
And I think the thing is like, and this is where it's, again, we're like just having this conversation, but when those first voyages are, there's a lot of tension there. There's like,
there's a lot of unknown.
Well, it's just like this expectation that it's got to succeed or the whole thing's a failure. And that's what those first few voyages I feel where it's like, it was just tension. Yeah. They got into their groove and there was consistency there, but the excitement, the energy that I think we brought of just like, here is of an entire voyage that's just ready to play. Like there's that, you know, now that everybody's gotten loose and ready to go, all the, you know, the cast and characters, they're ready. We have this huge group that's just ready to play. Yeah. And there's not anyone like going in there trying to, you know, like, oh, let me find something. Let me find something to, no, like, no, we're just there to have a good time.
Yeah. And so. I think a lot of people on this voyage were repeat cruisers. Yeah. And so there was just like a lot less stress because you already kind of know what to expect. And then for the people that it was their first time, we're like, oh, okay, what are you supposed to be doing? Make sure you go to that. Yeah.
Well, and that was like, you know, we had a first timer in our
Steve
in our group. And it was very much like, all right, where do you want to go? Well, I don't know. You go do something.
Yeah. Here, eat this. You want to drink this.
Yeah.
It was great. It was, yeah, we had, so one of the last things that we did, so there were a ton of extracurriculars, but the one that I think has made it around the most online was the Narkina 5. We broke out of prison, and I was not expecting it. We've talked about it on the live streams here, and we were like, okay, we're probably going to buy these like silly little PJs and get into it. And then within our Facebook group, there started a group chat for the people that wanted to participate in it. But it was like the same few people, had a handful of people that were like, hey, you know, where do I buy a suit? They reach out to me. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm like, we're maybe going to get like a dozen people.
It was a nice group.
40, maybe 50 even. It was a big group.
Yeah.
There was at least,
well, that's what I was saying. There was another guest that he showed up on Narkina in his Narkina 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you might want to wear it at night too. And so he had his full, like, unbeknownst to him, he had he had his Narkina jumpsuit. So it was like super cool. Super
it was
cool.
Great. Well, then Carly King was on our voyage too, and she didn't know about it, but somebody had an extra one. And it was like an extra large. So she had to like roll it up and everything to make it fit for her. Counted at least 40. I was shocked by how many people there were. Because I had to take my hair down from, those were real space buns on the Starcruiser. And so I had to like take my hair down. I was like, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I'm breaking out of prison. I'm going to look disheveled. So it took me a while to do that. So we were running we were there on time, but we were some of the last ones to get there. And just like walking into the atrium, like coming down the stairs and seeing
just the white and orange.
Prison. It was just amazing. It was so good. Yeah, it was.
The Vader floaty.
Yep. Anonymous person had like a Vader floaty on him. Like what is it? Is it a tube?
Yeah.
It's a tube. There's another word that goes with that. I don't know. I haven't slept very much in the last week. But it was great. And I think goggles too, right? Inner tube, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it was wonderful. Gabby's here. one of our captains. Captain Vess is there. But yeah, let's go through. Let's look at things.
Let's look.
I was pulling stuff out, and I don't think I have even seen. I think
That's
some
what
stuff was
haven't-
given to you.
Yeah.
Some stuff was given to me, and so like, collectively, we have not gone through everything that's in here together.
And
hopefully,
and
this
it's like,
is everything too.
It was like seeing everybody's like haul. They were posting like everything. I'm like, oh man, we didn't get to like look at that stuff.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So, this. Oh, you want to start with the muster meetup?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
So this one I had kind of seen. So we get to open up one pack and we could keep the other one.
Are they all the same? But they're different. No, they're all the same. So we went to the Heroes of the Halcyon, who I think's in here. At least Drew's in here. Muster meetup on the night before. So on May 2nd. They hosted a party. It was fantastic. They had silent auctions that were supporting Make-A-Wish. Do it on mine. And they gave a little, cover my face. So good. They gave a little goodie bag to everybody that showed up, and it had your drink tickets in it. They had like these photo backdrops, and then they gave swag out as well. Excuse me. So
they are different.
Pack 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, they are different. It says pack 1, 2, and 3. Anyway, these are. I don't want to mess that up.
I don't want to open them because
I don't want to open them. Can we get? Did we get? Oh, we got 2.
Yeah, we got 2.
Okay, so we'll open one of them. But it says 275th anniversary cruise holo scan trading cards. And by the way, if you are new here, we do not talk about spoilers. If we are going to talk spoilers about Starcruiser, we will be very explicit ahead of time. So don't stress that. 3 holo scan cards and 1 sticker, and there's 3 sets of them.
So here's a close up, and it's awesome because it's like it feels like those old bubblegum cards. Like the wrapper is like that wax paper, so that's what it feels just like that old school like card packs.
No, it feels they're cool. Should we open one?
Here, yeah, go ahead and you open yours.
And we'll leave one pristine.
I'll leave these one set.
One to rock and one to stock.
There you go.
Okay. Look at this. We're just going to do this together.
This is one of those like Pokemon
oh my God,
cards.
They feel really good too. So that's just like the launch pod. We won't go through all of it. So these are like the different places on the ship. So they've got the engineering room. You've got the sublight lounge. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful pictures too.
Okay, so here's what it is. So it's iconic locations. So you've got the shuttle, the atrium, the bridge, engineering room, lightsaber training pod, the cargo hold, sublight lounge, climate simulator, Crown of Corellia dining room. You got like a little checklist.
That's
So
awesome.
you can collect, I don't want to.
It's like a full set. Like that's cool because it's like an actual, like a card set.
It
like,
is. Well done, y'all. You guys are wild.
Series 2, dang.
So good. Okay. We won't open the rest of them because I feel like that's going to take us too long. But they had their business cards in here with the pictures of Martin, Christine, and Drew in here.
Here's a sticker too.
Let's go star cruising. Cool. Good
like that
stuff. Okay, so that was at the muster meetup.
Yeah.
And we were given things at the muster meetup also.
Yeah.
So one of the people on our voyage, and do you have the business card in there too?
Which one? This one?
The clear one?
No.
No. Okay. Oh my gosh, I feel like we're missing it. Gabby's in here, so I will share. Gabby gave me an extra. Whoa. It's like barely glued on. She told me don't touch it too much. They gave me a extra copy of a stone that you would find on Starcruiser. So it might come in handy. It was super cool. That one was kind of like palmed to me at the beginning of the night.
I think that was the coolest part. Is like, it was very much like a, like a transaction.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I know this. I know you like this, and here you go.
So here's where I'm going to feel bad because I don't remember the names of everybody. Are there like their character names? of people that handed stuff out. Okay, here it is. So this one was Jack Solaris of Solaris Transports, and there was a discreet service from Coruscant to the Outer Rim. Gave me this business card. It's clear, which is super cool. And then, jinx, an entire backpack branded with their trade. This backpack is branded with the transport company on it, and inside
coins
of it,
and pens and books and
a water bottle. There's a little like notebook in here. There's pens. There's all kinds. It's wild. So good. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's a good bag.
Got a swag bag. It's so good. Okay, so that's that. We're just gonna have to start shoving everything off screen. One of the other things, I don't have the little card that it came with, but our friend TJ, drop it like it's hot. She gave these out to people, and she handmade like all of them, like beaded and everything together. And she was handing them out, and she had these beautiful little cards on there, and she sent me some ahead of the voyage. So yeah, these were.
And it was cool because it was like part of her costume that she, like she kind of like shed them through the voyage.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So we got that one also. The TJ feathers. Where did we go from there? Where should we dive in? Just anywhere.
This was from Starcruiser.
Yeah, so we stayed in the Grand Captain Suite. We split it with a bunch of people, and they gave us this like huge gift bag or like Pelican case of snacks. And this one, I was like, I'm taking these. They're just like little rock candy. So there's like chocolate and nerds in here.
So the Sonfields, they had a challenge coin. And we have another one.
Did we get the other one from them?
It has their characters for this voyage. There you go. Justin, Naomi, and their little one. And then, here it is. I think this one we got from Brian, but it was also...
That's Stormtrooper guy.
Yeah. It's a cool challenge coin. So it has like, it's open and the little gem in the middle is clear.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a nice little collection of challenge coins.
Don't eat whatever was in that squeeze tube. We tasted everything in there and had just like a blast eating everything because we were just like, what is this? What are we biting into? We definitely ate from the tube.
Morsaris. Yeah, see, challenge coins. Okay, this one was, I think, Hunters, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, Jag Eyes.
Yeah. It's got half of a, you can't see.
To you.
It has half of a Bosk and half of a Boba Fett. And he dressed up.
Well, see, so he has a Bosk and his Mando.
Yeah, he had a Mando too on the voyage.
Yeah.
But he brought Bosk the head and the hands, and then he like wore various outfits at the end of night 2. It was just like, it was so good. And then same with Stormtrooper guy, the one that gave us the Ryloth stone coin. Here, go back to middle. He dressed up as Bith, and they were just like, it was just two creatures hanging out in the subway lounge. It was amazing. Yep, that was Brian. Do space rations go rotten? Some of the stuff, it was interesting. So they did have like apple slices as part of our little like snack thing, but they were vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
Which was really smart, actually. There were apple slices, and then you what was in the tube was caramel, and so you put it on there. It was
very like spacey feeling. Like if you were to, you had this vacuum unseal it, and then you have that caramel paste.
Yeah. And then they gave you like a bag of chips. I think some of the cookies.
Yeah.
It's just like snacky snacks, but there's so much food on the ship. And then each night they would give us
A refresh of snacks.
A refresh of snacks, but they would also give us like a chocolate flower, but it looked like a space flower.
Oh yeah.
With like the Gungan balls on it. It was weird.
So yes, I think it was.
Naomi gave us that one.
New Hope saw the Underworld, the 501st patch, and then we got a pin, a coin.
It was good.
We got almost like a full coin.
Naomi gave us a lot of the Underworld stuff though.
Yeah, because they had
She's
the
in it. She
original Narkina One Way Out patch.
One of the things, this was one of the first things I think that I was given when we got on board. Marcat Ventures came up to me while I was eating lunch. I was like, what is this? I'm wearing a new shirt today. And gave me this little box and just kind of whispered really slyly to me and said, hey, I know here on Batu East, there's not a lot of spice. And so from the mines of Tajín, we went and got some spice for you. And it's
super
it's
cool.
Tiny little vials of Tajín, because we were talking about how we don't have any kind of special blue milk.
No. So it's like these little vials.
Oh, okay, they're in here. It was
full of Tajín.
Perfect. Like I was just walking. I hadn't even gotten my food yet. And I was like, can I open these? Can I put it on some of the food? I got blue milk. I was like, could I put it in there? It was so funny. I was cracking up. And then I think you got
Just
a vial of it later. And then, I didn't even notice. They like almost like branded their logo.
Oh, okay.
It's an M and a K, I think, in Arabic. That's Jill. The fact that people put this much love into
and that's where we were like
to give to other people.
Yeah, because like another thing was our Captain Vess, Gabby, put together like this Huttese guide.
Yep, I got one
for
of those too.
Just some Huttese words if you wanted to speak to Wani. So like that was like super cool. Just kind of like glancing over it, like, oh, okay, maybe let me see what what she's saying, what she's trying to say.
The two things that I quote from Wani aren't on here though. I'm bugging Dano all weekend. I'd be like, okie dokie. I Am Geek is here. That was his first voyage too.
I want to hear like the first time.
Oh my gosh, it is the lid on that tin. Yeah. They laser etched their logo on it. I'm gonna keep drinking my tea while you cover my face.
Just the level of detail in this stuff.
It blows my mind. Yeah. Like, so we'll talk about what we brought, which was our pins. Do I have a loose one in here somewhere?
Yeah, we have this one.
So we put like a little sticker pack. So we had Dano's sticker, our sticker, and then I had some Betty Bantha stickers finally made. And then we made these pins that we were going to give out. And we worked with Punch It Chewy Press, which was fantastic to work with. We kind of were like, here's a general design that we want. And they took it and handled everything. It was wonderful. But I was like, phew. Even though we didn't do like too much work on it, it was like.
It's one of those things that it's stressful because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Right.
Right. So you're kind of like, is it going to be good? Is it going to, how's it going to be? And what am I going to do? What are we going to do? Type of thing.
And then we're procrastinators. We're like, are we going to get them in time? But like the love that everybody put into things that were given away to other people is just, it's incredible to me.
Yeah.
But you show off our pin. So we got, there you go. So it's me, Steven, and Dano surrounding one of the cabin windows. And it says Starcruiser Takeover on the top. And May the 4th be with you 2023 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was super fun. Because you had kind of like sketched out an initial, like, here's what we're thinking we want. And then they took it and ran with it. And it was wonderful. Yeah. Oh, let's see. What else gave out? Spotch coins made from legit diamond dust. Their logo to a bunch of people.
So we got these. They're like handmade ornaments. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just going to be on you.
Just
so
on
you're just going to be hearing my voice, the sultry sounds of my voice.
Wonderful. Could I be Bo-Katan?
Let's see.
Closer. Hey. Wah, 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 wah.
And then
who made the ornaments? It was Hunter's mom, Brenda.
Yeah,
think,
like
right?
handmade.
Yeah. They're like made out of, I think that's who it was, right? They were sitting right behind us at breakfast the last morning.
Yes.
Okay. It was either Hunter's mom or Hunter's mom's friend.
And speaking of Hunter, we got
that was cool. Oh, the other thing we didn't show from Brian, the one that gave us the Gaia coin, is he had these credits made.
And these are like metallic.
Metal.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you noticed on the side of it. Flip it to the side. Is it that side? It's got his Instagram handle on the side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like teeny tiny. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
It's like a super.
Some good hand modeling you got going on there. Looks like you're doing like shadow puppet.
That's awesome. Again, like just the detail.
What was the metal thing before the Mando coin?
This was like a credit. I haven't translated it.
Yeah, I haven't translated either. We got two of them.
Take a screenshot and translate it for us.
There you go. It's upside down though. The blue's on top. Spark chip. The Zoolander hand model thing.
You can see all my scars too.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's your scarred up hand.
That's my scarred up hand.
Let's see what else. We got some Roosevelt stickers in there. These were cool. We each got one of these.
Yes.
Lavena's popping grain, the finest. So
these were seeds that she said that her mom, or like I guess the
family farmed them.
Yeah.
And was like, don't go buy your popcorn from Katsaka, which I didn't know that's how it was pronounced. And Deanna was like, yep, you got to listen to the audiobook. It's Katsaka, not Katsaka. I was like, oh, well, I feel silly. It was so good. Yeah, the story was really good. It was just basically like this was the family business, and they've been working to perfect it for decades. So I don't even want to pop it, but I kind of do because if it's
just to try it.
Yeah, if it's been perfected for decades, this is a socket.
Oh no! So that was like a 10 millimeter because that's like always the the socket that gets lost. And then there was a.
Oh, somebody gave this to us? Wait, are you kidding me? Like this was not one of our. I took it out of the box because I was like, this is a.
No, that's why I put it back in. No, there's like a screwdriver head too. Oh, you probably took that out.
I took that out too.
So these were just like tools that they just sometimes get lost.
Oh, that's funny. That's super funny.
And then we got a Loth Wolf.
We got two. I've gotten really good about covering my face. You and your hand modeling. And these were from Keith and Dee Davis. They even wrote it on the bottom. They put 33 on there, which I'm assuming is their wedding anniversary because they were celebrating their wedding anniversary on our disembarkation day. There were lots of birthdays. And, oh, yeah, Navi is... is the product of their love. Those were really sweet. The other thing that we got the first day, did you get one? No, I don't think you got one. It was me, Dano, Peter, and Kitra got wanted posters. Mine's Betty Bantha. And we were looking at the top because it says wanted. And then it had the bounty at the top of it. And so we're like, who got more? And we're looking, I got more. I got the most. Mine was 89,000. I think Dano's was like 84 and he thought he had it. And I was like, oh, mine's 80. And then I looked at it, I was like, it's 89. Yeah. That was.
Oh, Gabby got one.
Gabby got one too. That was funny. It was just like the whole voyage was just fun. I'm throwing out all the Roosevelt stickers that we got from our shirt. Hunter, Jagai Hunter, also, he custom made this droid, like built a droid. Like he's a droid builder also. And he painted this one to look like one of the ones that's in Galaxy's Edge by the Refreshers, I think is where it is.
Yeah.
And so he had stickers made of that. And then he also had stickers made of his Mando. Did you see these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we got those from him.
And then we got some credits from the Planet Lego.
That was from Anonymous.
Yeah.
Was it Anonymous person passing those out? Or was it Mark? Which one was it? I'm blanking now. Okay. Okay, cool.
I think this is
Yes. Okay, perfect. No, I wasn't given this. I thought you were given this. Is this not ours?
Yes.
Who gave it to us?
Or
when?
I know it glows.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Like if you do like this?
Yeah.
I got nothing. Oh, Cynthia Woods was passing these out.
That's that.
Oh, that's amazing. They're ultraviolet light reactive crystals. That's super cool.
Yeah, so here's vest stuff.
I don't think we got the temporary tattoos. This is gorgeous, though, this necklace.
Yeah. And then, I don't remember who. There's another credit.
Oh, this one was Paul Marino, which was genius. So Paul is a good friend of ours, and he does hyper realistic, like photorealistic tattoos for a living. They're gorgeous. Married to TJ, and his work is just phenomenal. And if he gave you one of these, it's a metal credit. It's a really good one. It's got his QR code, and it says if you stop by his mod parlor and bring this back, then you would get a discount off of your mod, which was so funny.
Yeah, here's another.
On the back of it says, "Thank you from the bottom of my Beskar heart."
Yeah. So it's like the little Mando centerpiece. And then we got
Is Maggie's
card.
Oh yeah, and then Batu Bounder. I think we got this one. We got a Batu Bounder sticker. I think they gave this one to us on Batu. They weren't on the voyage, but they gave this one to us while we were on Batu.
So we got this is Captain Vez. We haven't opened it up yet. We need to like warm it up so it doesn't like rip, but it's got her character on there.
Oh, Belle was the Beskar heart. So good. Adorable. Yeah, that was good. It's got her story on the back, or their story on the back of it. This is the way. Who was this one? I think this one was just a pin. I think all of this stuff came with the backpack from Jack Solaris, but I particularly loved that they had a keychain from Galaxy's Edge that had Podameron on it, because I was like, oh.
And I think these were earrings.
Oh, yes. Galen brought only a handful of earrings, and she let me pick which ones I wanted. So there were some that had the Rebel logo on one side. They're like dangly disc earrings. They had the Rebel logo on one side and the Empire on the other. Or you could do both Rebel or both Empire. And so I took the Rebel ones. You kind of have a new pair of earrings to wear.
Yeah. And then like on day 2, one of the funniest little handouts that we got were these blue milk colored bandanas. And I love the story because they had blue and green bandanas.
Yep.
And they like to, because we've sparked the conversation of East versus West. And so, East versus West, and then the blue milk versus green milk. And so we were able to pick our favorite milk.
Yeah, because, so initially I think it was going to be an East versus West bandana situation, but then that would not have gone over very well. So rather than picking a coast, we picked milk colors. So that was fun. So then we're all prisoners with our bandanas of choice. And it was great because he came out. That was Marcat that did it. They came out with a case and opened it up, and you got to pick which one you wanted. It was so good. We should have grabbed a green one also,
just to get one,
just to have both of them. But we love our blue milk.
Yeah.
I even had teal milk made for me.
That was interesting. I never had the teal milk before.
I feel like I had it last time we were on Starcruiser, probably. And then there was some where they were like mixing blue milk with Powerade. I did not like that. But we had a lot of really great crew members that were like making us. What is that? Oh, that's a overlay on our screen that y'all can't see. I was like, there's something floating in the air between us. But there were a lot of crew members that were just like making us custom drinks. Just like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And they would make us drinks and they'd be like, what do you think is in it?
Oh, yeah. Like the coffee and stuff.
Yeah, they made coffee and they were like, there's 3 flavors in it. What are they? And it was fun. Oh, Dee's going to bed. Good night, Dee.
Hi, Dee.
The Mon Calo swirl. That's the one with the tahini, right? Oh, no. The blue milk, that one had the mango in it, I believe. The Onaka original. So that was the only thing that was really special to the May 3rd voyage was the Onaka original, which was I forget, it was a Hoth icebreaker, I think, but it had like an extra ingredient in it that made it purple.
Gotcha.
I ended up forgetting to get that.
The Blue Milk Surprise, the Rex song.
That one's funny. Oh, Tortilla and Swirl has the tahini.
Yeah, that's the one I like.
That's the one you like. But yeah, it was wonderful. We have so much wonderful stuff. Like we're gonna have to make ornaments out of as much as we possibly can because it's just so good. We got to figure out a way to display it somehow.
Yeah.
It was a great voyage.
Yeah, I mean, it was, again, I think the thing is like it wasn't just a voyage because, again, there was like the meetup before and then we went to Ben's emo party afterwards.
Yeah.
So it was like just Star Wars for like a nice 4 days.
3.5. Yeah, 4 days. It was a lot.
And then we went to Universal, which we hadn't been to for quite some time, and then going to Disney, as adults, and being able to just like hang out.
And we went hard as adults. We were like, you know what we should do? We haven't slept for the last 3 nights.
Just keep it going.
Let's just drink around the world. Oh, I like that. Put all the artifacts in a bag, mark it with the year, and archive it and break it out for the next year. I like that. I like that idea. But some of the stuff I want, like ornaments and things like that.
Yeah.
And the earrings.
Hang them around.
Yeah. It was all just so thoughtful. The gem of Ryloth. I forgot to get the gem of Ryloth this time. I think because it's not on the main menu. I just basically stuck to...
What I think that was like some of the, like, people were getting, because we knew what we wanted, there was a lot of just like repeat drinks. Not like just trying random things.
I had to like make myself... I got 4 different drinks this time. But there were 2 in particular that I just kept ordering over and over again. One of them being the crate reactor. No, I think I only participated in 2 crate reactors. We don't have a together as one sticker.
Drew's leaving. Night, Drew.
Has anyone heard from Dano for doing a watch party tonight? I would assume so. We were talking about streaming earlier, so I would assume he's going to be doing a watch party tonight. I think he's busy living life at the moment.
He's keeping it going.
I know. He's been nonstop. Also, it's been. I think that was the one part.
Gabby, read my yearbook.
Oh, that was really cool too. So at the end of night 2, and that was genius. I think when we do this next year, Gabby, let's collaborate on this. We should have little yearbooks made, and they don't have to be really nice. We can just like get them printed somewhere cheap and just have people sign and put their stickers.
Well, I mean, again, this is where it's like, I love this card idea.
The card idea is great too, but what Gabby did is they took the Guide to Galaxy's Edge book, and then I don't know that you rebound it, but made it look like it was in universe and like tattered up and burned the pages, and so it looked like an old book, and then just passed it around with a Sharpie and let everybody sign whatever page they wanted in there. And so I signed one page, and then I handed it to our friend Brooke, and Brooke was like, or maybe it was Meg, and they were like, "You're not going to sign the blue milk page?" I was like, "Oh my God." So I like pulled out one of my Betty Bantha stickers and stuck it on there. I was like, Betty was here. But yeah. Oh, look at that. The Batu Guide was edited by a friend of Cece's. Yeah, cool. It was wonderful. I think that would be super fun to just do like a little book that's like a little yearbook, and people can go run around and sign it.
Yeah, I mean, that.
Or maybe what we do is we like make a template for it and put it out there, and then people can add like their own picture to the front of it, and that way you know who to return it to at the end of the day, right? Because like that's always how it was with yearbooks. It was like, wait, whose yearbook do I have? Do you have my yearbook?
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to think just now. Like now, it gets me thinking. Like, oh, okay, but yeah, that was a cool idea.
That was really good. A yearbook photo like Grogu. It was. What a voyage! Like I'm so content. I'm just content. I'm not sad that it's over because it was
most
just
wanted template. Superlatives.
We have like a ceremony at the end of the night. That would be hilarious. Most likely to Oga.
Who's indebted to
Oga the most. Most often to be in the brig.
Most time spent in the
Dano. The Sublight Lounge.
Stayed up latest.
I feel so bad. Dano got a call out from one of the characters during the voyage and was like, "Dano, where is Dano?" And he wasn't.
That was like the one time that he wasn't in the atrium.
The one time he wasn't in the atrium. I was like, he's probably in the Sublight Lounge. He wasn't. He was in the gift shop. I am wearing my buns today. I gotta represent. They're good. But yeah, so that was the voyage. We can talk about it a little bit more, but we talked about Starcruiser on our last voyage coming into this, and
our last episode.
What? It's like a little gnat in here. What could basically, is there a happy medium or something in between Galaxy's Edge and Starcruiser? Some of the things we talked about was
and there was comments in from our last episode. Now that we're getting into like that, because we kind of like simplified it to
Peter's here. Good night, everybody. We're still going for a little bit longer.
But no, like we talked about the three kind of, we simplified it to just like, you know, the low, medium, high. But I think that was like oversimplifying it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of nuances to it, because it was like, you know, people had comments like, oh, this was a great idea. This was, you know, or this other idea. And I think that was the hard thing. Like, we want more people to get that taste, to just really like be there. Because, you know, Adam the Woo, he
trying to hold my hand.
No, he went to Starcruiser, like the voyage right after ours, and posted his visit. Love watching his videos. But it was cool to see. He was almost skeptical of it, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it yet.
He went in there and, you know, not like, oh, it's going to be bad or anything like that, but just like, you could tell there was hesitation in it.
Yeah.
And watching the videos, you kind of see at the end, he was excited for the story, excited for the experience. And then even saying that, you know, oh, maybe if I come back, you know, immediately that if I come back dressing up and knowing a little bit more, like that's his experience.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the thing, is like it's fine that you come in skeptical of it and kind of like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but you enjoy it when you get there. Like just throughout the video, you could just, you know, the food, enjoy the food and little tidbits here and there. So, I think that was like the cool thing.
Yeah, it was cool because what are y'all being encouraged? The space cats. That was so random. Dano stayed up all night one, ended up going outside and found a cat. And I think, did you hashtag it? Hashtag space cat in your stories?
I think it was more because like at the time that it was posted, we were like, wait a minute, shouldn't you have been asleep?
Yeah, we're like, it's 5 a.m., dog. What are you doing talking about space cats? So we gave Dano a hard time like the rest of the voyage.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I kind of want to get that Doc Ondar. And there was like another, some place has like basically a diorama, like of.
Oh yeah, of Doc Ondar's, right? Yeah, of the den. It was a really special trip. It was electric is the only way I can describe it. It was, and that's the thing is like, I'm shocked that I'm not more sad afterwards, because we got to hang out with everybody we hang out with online, you know, during these live streams, people we talk to like on the regular, and I'm still holding it together.
Yeah.
Somehow.
See, that's where what we want to talk about, Patrick, is like I think it really just depends on the group that you go with, like that, you know, because again, like it feels like this group was a lot bigger than just like our room.
Yeah.
It was like the entire voyage, like was our group.
And I think that's it, is like I was incredibly stressed out leading up to this voyage. And so the fact that it went so well, I was just able to relax afterwards. Like I'm no longer, it's like, it was like a wedding. It was like planning a wedding. Not even my wedding, but it was like planning a wedding. And I'm just like stressing about it the entire time. And then once it's over, it's like, whew, just got to write thank you cards and I'm done. Wonderful. Me stressed out? Never. Never. It was so fun. I just need like another arm to hold a drink for me. Or I need like a better, the outfits I like to wear do not have lots of storage. I don't have a lot of pockets. So I was always carrying my phone like in my hand.
Let me see. A total of us on Starcruiser. I think that's gonna have to be like a Facebook, like, hey, let's tally up.
Yeah. Full size R2 with the drink rack. Yeah, just make an astromech that follows us around for our drinks.
Just that little tray.
Done. Gabby's trying to figure out how to get an extra job to come back. Aren't you in college? Like, not college, but you're getting your doctorate? Is that right? Was the housing completely full? It was not a completely full voyage, which was surprising. It was one of the most sold voyages, but it was not sold out. In PhD, there you go. But yeah, it was, and that was the other thing, is like it didn't feel empty, it didn't feel full. It just felt just right.
Just right.
Yeah, only a PhD, no big deal. But yeah, I think we talked about it on our last episode where we're like, ways to even make Starcruiser even more would be to expand it another day, and you get to do like Bat2 in the evenings. But having just lived through those 45 hours where we slept for like 6 or 7 of those hours,
yeah,
I don't think
I think that's
another day.
That's the crazy part, is like, yes, I would love it, but I don't know if like it would be like, would it be able to carry on for that long, like a story, for like a 3-day thing.
Right. And like
because it keeps you like, moving.
Yeah, you're moving the whole time, and it feels like it goes by really quickly. Dang, Peter said it looked like 100 people in the muster. Having been my first voyage, I would have definitely liked to have one more day. I think if you're sleeping, but we did not.
Well, no, I think that's that little like you want to be more, you want more.
Yeah.
And again, like, yes, I would want to just like have more, but for it to, I enjoy the immersive, like the interacting and having the characters. Because the thing is, like, imagine if you were there without the characters. I don't, kind of like Disembark Day.
Yeah.
You get to soak it in, but there's that finality to it where there's nothing there. There's the atrium, but it's not like, it doesn't have that life.
Yeah.
With like the characters around, the crew members around and stuff like that. So
yeah, they're running a smaller crew to be like, okay, thanks for coming. Let me call you a lift. I felt so bad.
Exactly,
too.
Reza. Like, just you wanting more is just, that's where it's, even like, Steve in our group, it was like, okay, what did you enjoy? And what would you want more of? And it was like wanting more, or it was basically that, like, enjoying it to the point of like wanting more.
Yeah.
And I think that is a sign of it being good.
Yeah. Bespin says it would be cool if they found a way to do after hours in Batu for the passengers. It would almost be cool if, like, you have the option that on disembarkation day to, like, go to your hotel, go rest, and then you get access to Batu that evening. Say, like, after 7 or something.
Well, I mean, you do. You get a park
buy
day.
a park ticket, but it would be nice if there was, like, something else to do there. I don't know.
Yeah, if it was somehow to figure out a way to like see Batu at night, that would be cool.
That would be great.
Especially like the fireworks time. That would be cool.
Like, so Peter was saying, like, have them do a 3-day version of it. How do you afford it? Yeah, that's a good point. But I think Kitra had sent a video from Star Wars night last night, and it was from in the First Order area and behind the TIE Echelon, like basically where the Starcruiser entrance is, and there were fireworks back there.
But that's a Disneyland like thing that East doesn't have.
I know.
So they would have
East versus West. Get Peter all riled up.
But I think they'd have to figure something new for East. But that would be cool. It's like being able to be on Batuu and see fireworks. Yeah.
Are you printing something right now?
Yeah.
I just realized the printer was running. It started making some little creaky noises. Oh, I missed stuff. Just because it rhymes. Although really, like, Batuu East, we'd never been on Planet for May the 4th. And there was a ton of people there, which was really cool. And there were people that were like more dressed up than normal. But in terms of like what Disney provided.
Yeah.
And then we missed the virtual queue. We were up well beforehand to get in the virtual queue, but we didn't even really want to buy anything.
Yeah,
I think a little bit of it was like peer pressure.
Yeah.
Like, should we buy
the hype
$400 lightsaber?
It was definitely like, teasing me like, oh, should I get it? Should I get it? It's here. Should I get it?
Yeah.
But I was able to hold out.
And then it sold out. So then the choice was taken away from us. That was nice. The second night finale party would have been at Oga's. Oh, if you got to go on Batuu at night, that would be fun. The other thing is though, like you have, say a max out voyage is like 350 people.
Like I am at a loss for words right there.
Goodness.
If there was on the May 4th voyage, have a Star Wars night, Galactic night, whatever, like that would be where they would have like a 3-day thing where like the full day is just Batuu. So you just like no story on that day, but you have like a full day of just on Batuu to experience it. That's how they, I think, could just make it a 3-day without having to really disrupt the story.
Yeah. But if you think about it too, like say a fully sold out voyage is 350 people, which is about that. In the ship that it's in right now, which is like a pretty small area. So you're not really going to be in too many spaces and be the only person in that space. But take those 350 people and put them in Galaxy's Edge, and they're the only people in Galaxy's Edge.
Well, no. I'm saying it's open for
like a big old hide and seek. Could you?
No. I'm saying it's open for like like a Galactic Nights type of thing, but those for that special event, it's built into Starcruiser. So you could go in at the beginning of the day, ride the rides, but just like hang out all day.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back, go eat. You go eat. And you could come back and do the lightsaber meetups because that's typically what people do.
Ooh, chat's moving. Y'all got some strong opinions. Wish they would have done more for May the 4th. Oh, you scrolled back up. Somebody bought Babu Frick. Had a lot of people ask if they were cast while on Batuu.
Yeah, we got a lot of people asking us for directions to restrooms and rides.
Did you? Yeah. I don't think I got asked anything. East versus West. Well, the funny things we were saying, like Peter was the one that kept bringing up the whole time. He's like, well, at West we have this.
So he wanted the beef.
He wanted to fight. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you. See, we didn't get asked to post for. I mean, there were a few people that stopped us from the podcast, but it wasn't like. You work here? Let me take a picture with you.
Yeah.
We didn't look that good. That's true. West doesn't have the Halcyon. Not yet.
Yeah.
But so one of the interesting things is, so Disney dropped like a ton of news yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Every once in a while, Disney will just do like a super heavy news day. And this one was massive. I don't know why they didn't like roll this out over a few weeks, because I have what are they going to announce next week?
It's next year. So
yeah, it's next year. But so it's all the stuff that they announced was about 2024. The biggest thing that I think people have been waiting for is the dining plan is coming back.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 types of dining plans, and I think there used to be 4. It was 3 or 4. It was either 3 and they were about to move to 4, or there was just 4. But they're doing 2. So it's like a quick service dining and like a regular dining plan, which I'm catching up. So I have not gone and like read the webcast to see the details of it, but I'm going to assume it's like quick service means you get so many quick service meals a day and snacks. And then the regular dining means you probably get like 1 sit down and 2 quick service meals and snacks a day. Which all the dining plan is basically like you're just prepaying for your meals. And then you have these credits, and like if you don't use them, you lose them. So some people like to do that, so that way they just know like how much they're going to spend outside of souvenirs all up front. It doesn't necessarily save you money unless you like really game the system really well and like look at how much you're costing. Yeah. But that one's like something that people have been waiting for years and years for it to come back since the pandemic, which is wild to say, years and years. But the big thing for me, and we could talk about park reservations a little bit if we want to, but that Disney World bookings, so like booking resorts and ticket packages, is going on sale May 31st. Now, they did not say if Starcruiser is going to be one of those resorts that goes on sale on May 31st. So it could very well be that if you want to be on this May the 4th, 2024 voyage, you need to decide like now, which I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
We just got off.
We spent so much money in the Sublight Lounge.
Oh, in the
I think I saw it come through.
The Genie Plus, like they're talking about planning. So does this mean that they're going to make it more back to the Fast Pass system?
So let me pull up.
I'm so excited for that, to be able to like guarantee you get a couple rides.
I'm not excited about that because I'm going to be the one booking it for everybody 60 days out or whenever it is.
If we're able to say, okay, we could get at least 3 rides for that trip. For that day, I mean.
But that's if they go back to how Fast Pass was. We don't know what it's going to look like. So here's the thing. So we'll run through the news really quickly. We'll skim over the boring stuff. Removing theme park reservation requirements for date-based tickets, which means, I don't really know what that means. Date-based tickets meaning, I'm assuming if it's like a 1-day ticket, but it could be if you buy your tickets and it's good for this date to this date, then you don't need theme park reservation, which is crazy. They're also going to have good to go days for annual pass holders and for cast members. So
the least days you don't need.
Yeah, the days where it's like, we're not going to hit capacity at any of these parks, or not even close to it, which they've only hit capacity at a handful of parks on a handful of days since they've had these.
Like spring break and holidays and stuff.
It's like Christmas and like the 50th anniversary and those types of days. That's the thing, Peter. I don't mind Genie Plus now as much as I did when it first came out.
Peter, I was about to hate Velocicoaster. And I was going to swear off of Universal because I was furious. Because we
waited 40 minutes for Velocicoaster.
Well, no. That long of the thing was like they have the express line, they have the normal line, and then they have single rider line. Well, it's a 2-rider coaster. Everybody that goes to Universal is a 2-person group. So you're waiting as a single rider twice. And when we were at the end, there was like 2 trains.
100 people.
2 trains went, and one of the single riders went in. So I was like, this is ridiculous. This is worse than having an express pass.
Did you not tell Dano? He was so upset.
I was pissed. I was so pissed.
He was so mad. I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it because I was like,
no, I that was like the worst experience ever. I was ready to leave. But the ride was really good, so it got me out of that mood.
The ride was fantastic. It's my favorite ride. That was the whole reason we went to Universal. I was like, you need to ride Velocicoaster. I don't even know. Dano said he liked it too. But I was like, I need you to do this, and I need you to love it as much as I do.
Yeah, you're lucky it was good. It was like that top tier, because I would have been like, no,
I had them turn up the speed a little bit because I was like, he's not happy. Crank that up.
I was like, because
Steven does hide. You're very droid like. You hide your emotions pretty well. Butterbeer, we did do Butterbeer too.
Oh, that was good.
Oh no, yeah, he was really upset by the whole thing. Right, that's what I was saying. I was like, we've waited 40 minutes. Like, that's not bad.
Well, then, you're listening to Peter Quill over there, that same little like 2-minute clip, like on a constant repeat.
This is the song that never ends.
Look, Peter, I could start picking apart Universal.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's for another episode. We're back to Disney. So it's super funny though about this socket. I really was like, what is this? Disney dining plans are coming back. We talked about that. More park time for Disney Resort Hotel guests. So, like I said, I have not sat down and like read the details on this or like looked at the webcast that they made available for travel agents. Because quite frankly, I just started getting back to like my travel agent work yesterday, and I had a whole bunch of things that I needed to get through.
I think a lot of the stuff is
I got to go do more tonight, actually.
I think a lot of the stuff is like resetting itself to the good old days,
which is great, right? Yeah. That's what we're wanting. So they said more park time for Disney Resort Hotel guests.
So that's like the early
and
the
extra magic hours in the morning are going to stay, and then the deluxe hours, the extra hours for deluxe guests is going to stay going forward.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, we gave this to you, and we're going to
wasn't there something else for like staying at resorts? But it's like they're trying to incentivize staying.
They didn't say in like the quick post. And then simplifying the Genie Plus experience. So they made it sound like you would have the ability to now, you used to have the ability to buy Genie Plus at Disney World. You still can do it at Disneyland, but you used to have the ability to buy Genie Plus when you bought your park ticket, or you could even add it on after the fact. It was kind of like Memory Maker or Trip Insurance before your voyage, and that way you didn't have to worry about it. And then they took that ability away back in like August, and they would say, if you want Genie Plus, you have to buy it the day of. So you could buy it as early as midnight, or you could buy it, right before 7 at any point during that day. And so they took that away, which was like, okay. But now it seems like they're giving it back to us. And it seems they were like, we heard you want to plan your park days it was more in advance.
It was something like planning or scheduling. And like, that's where like my ears perked up. I'm like, ooh, does that mean that we could somewhat semblance of a fast pass
Here's
system?
What it was. We're working on ways to help guests plan with Disney Genie Plus service and individual Lightning Lane selections before their visit, so they can spend more time with friends and family in the park. So they're listening. They're hearing that we're like, we don't want to be on our phones the entire time.
That was like a comment Dano made, and he was like, oh, I'm glad that you're doing it, because, it gets annoying, like, constantly on your phone.
Because I was the one that would be like, okay, we scanned it for that one. Let me get the next one. Okay, now we're going to go over to Buzz Lightyear. That's just what we do now.
Yeah.
We had Genie Plus for Saturday, and we just ended up drinking around the world instead and riding Guardians.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, you don't know if it's going to be like one of those days where you're like, okay, we're really going to utilize it, or you're like, nah, we're just going to hang out and
we did. We
drink.
The shuttles from Starcruiser didn't start early enough for us to get to Batu. What time did the shuttles start on the 4th? Because I will never be one of the first on the shuttle, and I'm very curious. As it was, I woke up at 6 a.m. the day of Batu. But I think
it was pretty early that we got up. It was just like,
because I went to bed
getting going.
I remember I fell asleep at 3 and I woke up at 6. because I was like, I had a really hard time with these buns and like getting them just right. I was like, I need to plan for at least 3 breakdowns before breakfast. and I mean, we got out of the room pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, let me just be ready. Let's see.
I think, Patrick, that's, you're having to compete with the resort guests because they probably got early entry too.
Yeah, so I think the park probably opened at 8, which meant that resort guests got in. If the park hours were posted at 8, then the resort guests got in at 7:30, which means they probably let them in at like 7:10 or 7:15. So they had like ample time to get back to Batu.
I think the transports don't start until 8.
He said that he was on the first transport at 7:56. Gabby out here. Dr. Gabby in 2026. There were already lines when we got there at 8 o'clock on the dot. That's just wild to me. Yeah. Absolutely wild to me. But yeah, so the big thing that I took away from the news, I'm glad that Disney is adjusting kind of back to the way things were before. We're still like settling back into like a new normal, and it's good that they're listening to feedback. But the biggest thing I took away from it was 2024 is opening up at the end of the month. And when I called Starcruiser and specifically asked her, like, we don't know, would be nice though. I was like, uh-oh. So I'm like, okay, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start reaching out to people. They're on my 2024 list if they've been on there. Because I've had people on my 2024 list for like a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So start reaching out to people. So this May the 4th voyage, what did we call it? Dana, we workshopped the name for this for a while today. We ended up calling it the Galactic Starcruiser 2024 Ultimate Fan Voyage. I think that's what we ended up naming it. Because that's what it ended up being. Like, we wanted this to be the May the 4th voyage, and it just ended up being like people that are just really into Starcruiser showing up and just having a good time. And it was more about the community. And so I pushed really hard on the whole crew, putting the crew in Starcruiser. Not a takeover. We can't say that. Don't get us in trouble. He's just spamming it. But yeah, so if you do want a spot, and I like, this is not me. If you have worked with me as a travel agent, you know that I am not pushy in any way. But if you are wanting in on this voyage, you could have to be putting your deposit down in just like 3 weeks. If you want to guarantee a spot. If you want to roll the dice and like wait until you've got the deposit money, that's fine. Like I said, I'm never going to push people.
I think the big thing is like the timing. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
It's
not ideal.
So I think that's the crappy part.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have hit the
coming off of it
lounge so hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I really wish they had like that bounce back.
A respectful takeover. I have so many comments about like when I was, because we did the one way out chant, but like there's people sleeping. I want to be respectful. So I was like, we're going to respectfully chant one way out. But yeah, it could happen. Oh God, I'm dying. It could happen. We don't know. I'm going to be ready for May 31st, just in case. I'll be calling first thing. I'll have my list ready and start booking people because it could be that fast.
Yeah.
Last year, and just for context, last year it opened, I think, end of August or beginning of September, which was really late in my opinion.
So it's really late, but I don't know if they would plan or they would open up a full year.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the other part.
What they've been doing, though, is they've been opening up January to September, which is September is the end of their fiscal year. And then they do October through December. So they've done that 2 years now. So
it's probably going to stay on that rotation.
And the thing is, if it stays on that rotation, then it could very likely be that it doesn't follow the Disney resort dates again, which is fine because kind of like Disney Cruise Line does their own thing, Adventures by Disney does their own thing, Disney World does their own thing, Disneyland does their own thing, and Starcruiser kind of is its own little offshoot, even though it's under the Disney World umbrella. So we don't know. We have no way of knowing, but be ready is all I'm saying. Like, we have no idea. I'll be calling, like I said. I still haven't unpacked. I work so that Disney can have nice things.
For real.
Yeah, Disney's fiscal year starts in October.
Yes, hit that thumbs up.
We're so awkward about that. Like, we're never like, smash that like, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. Oh, we need to promote ourselves. Like, we're terrible at it. Be better, Steven. Thank you, guys. Just got off airplane mode. Wow. Oh, still on the plane. Wait. You just got back from your trip? Do you need tissues, Carrie? Lady Carrie? We have your tissues right here. Those were so key, though. But here's the thing. I don't know if... I think seeing the tissues was like, well, now I can cry. I have something to
was just like
catch my tears.
Turning on the faucet.
Because I did get like... I got a little misty towards the end. When it was over, and it was like saying goodbye to all of the cast. It's like, okay...
Yeah.
But nobody's unpacked. See, we could just go back.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter doesn't do it either. And look where Peter's at. We'll just like hope that people do the things to support us. Unpacked my toothbrush. How did the werewolf end? Oh, this is a joke, isn't it? Okay. How did the werewolf end their YouTube videos? Oh my gosh, Mark, you remember that? Of our daughter calling it Space Home? Ugh. Space Fam is my Space Jam. It was Space Home. It was a crew. Oh, Kaylin. Next time I go with everyone, make sure I stay in the subway. We will keep you in the subway lounge and keep you busy with drinks. Thank you for that. Thanks for the super chat. We don't have a youngest because
he's over there
living it up. I think somebody stole his hat. All right, I think that's it.
Yeah. First Tuesday live stream. So
first Tuesday back on Earth.
Back on Earth.
I have to go work now.
So, thank you guys, everyone that showed up, hanging out. We're going to keep lamenting about how we miss it.
I'll just cry I'll just catch my tears with my... I did buy another one because I was so afraid I was going to... That I will break this one. So now I have two, one for each eye to cry my tears into.
So, we will see you guys... Next week, new episode. It's probably going to be Starcruiser.
What? What a shocker!
I don't know. Just an idea.
We have a problem.
So,
thank you guys. Thank you for those of you that cruised with us. Thank you for following along, for listening to our craziness. Like, it really does mean so much. And this last week was just a testament to that. So, Thank you. And until next time. Millennial Pause.